won the National Open. I mean, you've been in the Knoxville Nationals. What kind of career goals or what kind of places do you want to win at as your career progresses?
The big thing in my mind is still the Knoxville Nationals. You know, we've been on the podium, finished in top 5 in 3 different cars with, you know, 3 different crew chiefs and stuff like that. So I think that I really like Knoxville. I enjoy racing there. That's by far the toughest format that you can race at. And if you can do well there, you've pretty much proven that you can do well in a race car. So obviously that's one of my biggest goals, is to try to do well at Knoxville again. Without running out there more than one time a year, it makes it a little difficult to kind of get, you know, get your base deal going. But if I think if with working with Lee Stauffer, my crew chief, I think if we can find something that works pretty good, we might have a shot.
Now, when it's all said and done, whenever that may be, years down the road, how do you want to be remembered as a driver?
You know, I don't
or as a
really
team.
I like to think of myself as a team player. I mean, there's a lot of times I go into different teams where they don't have the same equipment that I would probably prefer, or that I'm used to, or that I know works the best for me. But to try to be a team player, I'll make sacrifices. Okay, well maybe that chassis is not the one exactly I would pick, but you know, if that's what you have, and we'll make it work. It seems to be that I've been that kind of guy. If this is the personnel we have to work with, this is what we'll do. Just, you know, I would think that somebody would say I was always fair, decent. I don't think I'm a dirty driver. I mean, I don't take anybody out intentionally or do anything stupid to hurt myself or anybody else, by that matter. So I try to race as clean as I can, and I don't think that I have the championships or the other things that maybe some other guys have that I compete against. But I think overall, my winning percentage as far as for races won compared to races started, that type of stuff, I would think somebody might look at it and say, you know what, I didn't really realize that that's the way it was, because we have a decent winning percentage. We have a decent top 3 percentage around here, which is very difficult to do, obviously. And I think I'd want to be remembered as a very consistent driver who won some races, maybe not all the championships and that type of things, because I mean, when you leave and go to Knoxville or Eldor or whatever, obviously you're not going to, you take yourself out of contention for those types of things. So you know, I think we've won some pretty decent races away from here, as well as for here. So I don't know, just a decent driver. Still okay.
How much does it improve you as a driver when guys such as Chad Kamenal or Tyler Walker come in here and start running the local circuit?
I don't know if it really improves or detracts. I mean, I think for top-notch drivers such as that to come in here, I mean, it's not easy to win here. I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy to win anywhere. Let's put it that way. But here's very, very tough. And you know, Tyler had his first weekend here and had, you know, crashed hard in a heat race one night and had problems Friday night. So I mean, and if he was in his own situation with his own stuff, maybe it'd be a little different. But you know, top-notch drivers can struggle when they come here. Doesn't really mean anything against their ability or whatever, but you have to kind of have a package going, and he'll get it. That's, you know, if anything, I think it validates how hard it is to win here. When, you know, the Outlaws come to town and they don't win a race last year, well, okay, that just means we have really good guys here. You know, when those guys come to town and if they struggle at all, hey, it's tough to race here. You know, I welcome the challenge. I think it speaks volume for our guys when they can outrun them. And if it's not myself or whoever, when anybody outruns them, the guys that are used to winning, that means you've done a good job. So I think if anything, it helps the validity of our area.
Do you have the itch in the future maybe to get back on the outlaw circuit full time?
Not really. I mean, I did it, and it wasn't like I did it for that long, to be honest with you. I think we were rookie in like '93, I guess, and did it for '93, '94, I think '95, and then I was off for a year, and then came back in '97. In '98, left the team there and came here actually, and went back in 2000. So I actually only have, I think, 5 full seasons out there, but I got to experience it enough. The road life is not easy, especially from a family perspective, from relationships, that type thing. It really is a lot of stress on a guy's personal life, unless his family can be with him, which, you know, anymore is such a huge expense. And from a financial standpoint, because my racing is my business, because my expenditures are relatively minimized by running locally, but my earnings are basically the same. I think there's only maybe 4, maybe 5 guys in the country that their cars made more money than my car did last year. So depending upon how you look at it financially, yeah, if you had a great year out there, you can make a lot more money. But if you have an average year, you're not going to do any better than I can do here. So from a financial standpoint, it would have to be such a great situation, something you'd be absolutely comfortable with, almost like if you took, if Lee and I and Jim and Sandy said, hey, you know what, we're going to take our program, the same thing we've always been using, the same thing we're successful with, and we're going on the road. And that would be something to consider, because, you know, you don't have to jump into something that's unfamiliar. Because I've been in situations where, you know, maybe a crew chief or something like that just says, hey, this is the way it's going to be set up, this is how you drive it. And, you know, that's not always a lot of fun. So when you have no control over a situation, which is a lot of them I've been into, you know, it's a struggle. So I'm not into struggling that much. So it would have to be a perfect situation to go back out there.
Let's get into your crew a little bit. Who are some of your crew members, and what are their positions?
Right now, Lee Stauffer's my crew chief. He's really our only full-time guy. It's just him, myself. Mike Goss helps us out quite a bit. He does it just as a part-time helping out kind of thing. He's actually the team manager for the Apple Motorsports, their road racing division. So he, when they're not racing, he'll come with us on the weekends and do things like that. But really, other than that, Brian just came out this weekend. A guy named Brian came out and helped us, you know, at the track, and he might help us drive the truck a little bit, because right now I'm the only guy that can drive the truck, because I'm the only one that has a CDL. Yeah, it made for a long weekend going back and forth, but to the shop. But yeah, no, it's just a few guys. And of course, Jim, you know, when he's not busy up front, he'll come back in the back in the evenings and whatever, talk, piddle around, make stuff for us, whatever. But pretty much just very limited crew. Just Lee, Mike, Brian, myself, and Jim. So not a lot going on there. But pretty much Lee makes all the corporate decisions, and then him and Jim get together on things we're going to do, what direction we're going to head.